if the information that I'm providing to you guys today is accurate, this character, SHARON Rogers, is going to shake this game to the very core yet again. And need I remind you, this character is still among the best in the game, and she hasn't gotten a uniform in well over a year. At this point, close to 2 years, if my memory suits me correctly. Okay, COVID time is passing way faster than you can even realize. However, one thing for sure, two things for certain: whenever this character gets a uniform, she's always meta for PvE content. Frankly, ever since she was introduced to the game, she's always been meta. And every time she gets a uniform, they push her to a new extreme. And this time, it looks like they're going above and beyond. They're going plus ultra. Shout out to All Might, because what I'm going to show you today blew my mind. It is something I have never before seen on any character. And honestly, I'm not too surprised. And I won't be too surprised if this ends up being accurate just because of who it's for. This is Netmarble's love child. However, even if you hate SHARON Rogers, you should love the fact that she's free to play and she is the one getting this kind of an upgrade. It makes me very excited to see what could possibly be coming for Luna Snow, another one of their love children, and also Crescent, the forgotten child. Right, I'm very curious to see what Crescent gets, because if she gets something similar, not even if she gets half of what it looks like they're giving to SHARON Rogers, man, she is going to be absolutely fantastic. And she may very well be meta for ABX, both for female combat and superhero combat day. And I know many of you guys are tired of Venom, and maybe you're just looking for something fresh. So ladies and gentlemen, feast your eyes on this brand new uniform for SHARON Rogers. As you can see, this is a package that we usually get whenever we get a new character or a new uniform. However, this is being released multiple days early because the update is coming on Tuesday, okay? Today, as of me making this, is Friday. So CM Fragment accidentally posted this chest, which we don't know what's inside the chest yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be just like this one that's currently in the store, that basically just gives you some gold, some black antimatter, maybe cards and bios for the character. Before that, we had one for Katie that gave us biometrics for her. So I'm assuming it's going to be something similar to that. Maybe it will offer us Awaken materials, tier 3 materials like what we've seen last month, in addition to SHARON Rogers biometric. However, what is most important here is not even the fact that we get our first look at this new uniform for SHARON Rogers. It looks pretty cool. If you go down a little bit further, take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We get a small glimpse of one of the new changes coming to SHARON Rogers in this new uniform. Now, read this verbatim with me. Accumulates 10% of true damage dealt. Now, keep in mind, current SHARON Rogers, you have to take damage with her in order for you to scale up your damage accumulation. Okay? So, this is a massive change for the character if this is accurate. However, just take this with a grain of salt, because after CM Fragment posted this, he deleted the post because it's coming days early. I'm guessing he messed up. I'm guessing he probably inputted the date wrong, because when they make these posts, I'm guessing they schedule them ahead of time, right? So they say, oh, put this up at 4 a.m. on X day. And I'm guessing, yeah, he put it up for the wrong day and then realized it, but someone was able to snag a screenshot of the package and some of the effects that is coming with this new uniform for SHARON Rogers. Unfortunately, we didn't see anything for Crescent or for Luna Snow, but this is a massive change for SHARON Rogers if it is true, because SHARON Rogers is one of the strongest characters in the game already. And frankly, with the uniform she currently has, she would be far stronger, just because of the fact that in certain situations, you can't accumulate damage. Like, let's say, for example, when you're fighting Null in World Boss Legend, when you get down to the last 5 bars and he's no longer hitting you, when you pop your third skill, you're not accumulating any damage. So your damage just kind of falls off a cliff, and you really have to hope the character is built well enough to push through that plateau. However, if she's now damage dealt like Moonstone, Cable, and so many other characters before her, man, that is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I'm guessing she's gonna jump maybe 15-20 stages, especially if you consider the fact that along with this upgrade for Sharon Rogers, she also has the leadership tag, and we are speculated to be receiving a tier 3 for White Fox, which means that is gonna be a substantial buff for Sharon Rogers if she can take advantage of this passive. In addition to the fact that many of you guys who didn't boycott actually bought this uniform for White Fox, so you're gonna get 15% more damage on top and some chain hit with some ignore dodge, which in case you didn't book it, she doesn't really need, because of the fact that in this uniform, this is like the strongest third skill I've ever seen. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. She has 100% max HP recovery and 100% ignore dodge for 10 seconds. This is absolutely nuts. Okay, if they keep the cooldown time the exact same as it currently is, which I think with this amount of power, it would be realistically too broken for them to keep the cooldown time the same. That's a 7.5 second cooldown. If they just basically swap the Vanguard Lance with this new buff or this new ability, like, it's gonna be absolutely insane, because every 7.5 seconds she's gonna be back at full health, which is a big increase from just only being able to recover 10% of her max HP. And in case you didn't see my leak video that I made day 1 of the update, I said what Sharon Rogers needs is an ability that heals her for more than 10%, because of the fact that 10% is just not enough when you get to higher stages. The bosses just do so much damage. And I also said she needed a way to build up her tier 3 faster, because it takes her 3 rotations to get to her tier 3. So if they're able to make it so that she's a 2 rotation type of girl, in case you don't know what I'm talking about, like when you hit all of her skills, you can see you only get to 47%. So then if you hit them all again, you're only at 94%. So you have to do some kiting in between and whatnot, and then the next rotation you will be able to pop off your tier 3, which we all know that's where the majority of her damage currently is. We don't even know if they're gonna switch up the vibe on that. Man, this is absolutely nuts. Who knows, maybe what we're seeing is gonna be a part of her tier 3 moving forward, right? Maybe that's gonna be the case. Or maybe that's a uniform bonus. We don't know where that is going to be, but looking at where the damage accumulation currently is, if they're just gonna increase the damage accumulation, because that's something you guys need to be aware of as well. Look at somebody like Moonstone's accumulation. She's accumulating 1%, right? 1% of that damage dealt and increasing your attack by 1%. And if you take a look at Sharon Rogers, he's doing it on a level we've never seen before, guys. She's increasing her attack by 2% for each 1% of the damage accumulated. So she's going to be able to keep this accumulation up all the time, which very few characters can do, especially not ones with accumulations this strong. I believe Odin's accumulation is 1% and he can keep it up all the time. Moonstone, there's a small gap, but still it kind of feels like it's all the time. However, the big thing here, guys, is the fact that you're gonna have 100% ignore dodge all the time. That's just nuts. That and the heal, right? This is crazy. We just saw Shang-Chi got a full heal on his tier 3, and to see them immediately follow that up by putting it on a third skill and making it so, well, okay, I don't know if the third skill is still gonna have 7.5 seconds on the cooldown, but if it does, that's gonna be nuts. Being able to fully heal yourself, that might even make her PvP viable, just because of the fact that she's just healing for full health right away every 7.5 seconds. That's nuts. Okay, that's absolutely nuts. I'm hoping that some of this power gets transferred over to Crescent, because she needs it the most. She needed this. Sharon Rogers didn't need this, but I'm happy that Sharon Rogers is getting it, if she's indeed getting it. If anybody was gonna get it between Luna Snow, Crescent, and Sharon Rogers, I'm happy it's Sharon Rogers, just because she's very free to play friendly. If they gave this to Crescent or to Luna Snow, I could understand from a business aspect because they want to make money. But at the exact same time, some of you guys who are free to play, you'll be very, very upset, even though they've had multiple events to give out biometrics for Luna Snow and Crescent. And that's also something you need to consider. Next week, when they do this update, we could see another, what do you call those again? Event battles? It's been so long. Yeah, event battle. And we could be getting bios for Luna Snow and Crescent. So guys, don't freak out just yet. But man, if this is what SHARON Rogers is getting, it's absolutely insane. Okay, that accumulation is going to be a big thing. Both the damage dealt and the increase that she's getting. But that heal and the ignore dodge is absolutely nuts. Again, I cannot verify that this is indeed what she's getting because this post is not from CM Fragment. This is a re-upload by someone who took a picture of what CM Fragment uploaded. But if this is actually the truth, my gosh, this is too much power. This is too much power. Or maybe it's just enough because she's free to play and she is who she is. You let me know. But if she's getting all this, she's future proof for the next 2 years easily. And that's generally how they treat this character. When she gets something, she's good for the next 2 years. So make sure you're saving your crystals, okay? I know you guys want to go whale out and get all the stuff from this crystal spending event, but I would advise that you save some crystals on hand to buy these uniforms if you have these characters, or at least make sure you save enough to buy the uniform for SHARON Rogers. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, she's gonna be better than she currently is. Even if what we see in this post is not 100% accurate. We've never gotten a uniform for SHARON Rogers that didn't deliver, that didn't upgrade the character in some way, shape, or form. So ladies and gents, we're gonna wrap it up right here. 2% accumulation on SHARON Rogers, damage dealt 100% HP recovery, and 100% ignore dodge. That is nuts. That is absolute insanity, boys. What does Odin have? Odin has 1% for 1%, 10 seconds, but it's even Odin has a longer cooldown, but you can still keep it up all the time, right? But man, this is absolutely insane. I think Magneto has 1.1% on the accumulation. Oh, 1.5%. So wow. So Magneto before, he had the highest accumulation in the game, pretty much. That here's the thing. Even though he had the highest accumulation in the game, his base damage was still just not that good. So that's why people don't really use him like that. But SHARON Rogers' base damage, we know it's really good. So she getting 2% is way different than Magneto with the 1.5. All right. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you excited for this new uniform for SHARON Rogers?